Wow, Real Madrid. That's what you're gonna do after Saliba did the right thing and extended with Arsenal another 5 years. Shout out to you, my man. He was a real one, Like he said, hey, they like Madrid, they like Barcelona, not me. Not me, he said, not me. But anyways, Konate on the other hand has been twerking for Real Madrid. He's pulling a Trent. He wants to leave. He's not extending. No. He wants to go to Real Madrid, but obviously with the recent performances he's been putting up, against Crystal Palace and Galatasaray, Konate hasn't looked the best, right? And it's left Madrid split on them actually pursuing Konate on a free next year. Now, I will tell you this. Konate, yes, he's had a bad couple of games, but that doesn't mean you should just absolutely not want to sign him on a free. You are free transfer FC. Konate coming in on a free to Real Madrid is definitely an upgrade from what they have here, because this was the lineup they put out against Atletico Madrid. They ended up losing 5-2, by the way, but this isn't a terrible lineup. Carreras and Hoyson, that's really good on the left-hand side. And then you bring in Konate, that's an upgrade from Eder Militao, who's had multiple knee injuries now. And then you'll have Carvajal or Trent Alexander-Arnold, playing right back. Now, Konate has experience playing with Trent Alexander. They've won a Premier League title together. They've won a Champions League together, Well, actually, not the Champions League, sorry. But they've won the Premier League. Sorry, that was Joel Matip. But anyways, they've had success together. But anywho, it's an upgrade from Eder Militao, and it seems like they want to get rid of Rudiger as well because he's getting up there in age. So I think Konate at the end of the day should be an upgrade. Obviously, Marc Guehi is another target that Real Madrid has coming out of Crystal Palace, who had his transfer get taken down by Glasner because he wanted to keep him because he felt like getting rid of Eze and Guehi, who were fundamental pieces for Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup, didn't make sense for him to stay as the manager. In order to keep him as the manager and not have him resign, they had to keep Guehi, and now they may not get a transfer fee for him. So him leaving on the free kind of gives Real Madrid options. It's not only Konate now. They could go after Guehi if they really wanted to. But Guehi has a lot of interest from the likes of Barcelona, Arsenal, City. Everybody wants a piece of Guehi because Guehi, he's a decent player. I'm not going to lie. I would take him over Konate. Definitely that. And he is more of a left-footed center back. And obviously he really came about in the Euros when they had him starting at the left center back position on England. And now, with Crystal Palace, he's won them an FA Cup, he's won them a Community Shield, so he's really, stormed onto the pitch. And now that's a bad look for Konate because obviously Liverpool would love to extend his contract, but why else would he not extend his contract before the season started? And that's because he's been eyeing that move to Real Madrid, but Real Madrid might not be eyeing him anymore. So that puts Konate in an awkward position because the whole time you're absolutely leaning on the possibility of leaving in 2026 on a free to Real Madrid following Trent Alexander. You have all these, quotes and support for Trent. You put these, subliminal messages that you're following Trent to Real Madrid. And now for them to look at two bad performances and now be split on bringing you to Real Madrid shows the loyalty Real Madrid has. And that's why I've said it's overrated to make the move from a top Premier League side to Real Madrid because their fans will turn on you like this. Trent Alexander still hasn't had that because he's injured. He's injured. How is he supposed to have the fans turn on him if he doesn't even get to play games like that? I'll tell you this. If Trent starts having defensive, woes, they're going to be begging for Carvajal to replace him. And Carvajal's there. Carvajal will die for that badge. That's what Trent doesn't understand. At Liverpool, you would get away with having poor defensive, games. And the next game, you could start and the fans won't be mad at it. Real Madrid is a different animal. And I'll tell you this. They're going to pay you well, but the fans are going to turn on you. At the Premier League, you're going to get paid well, but the fans are more supportive. They will back you more than Real Madrid fans because Real Madrid fans, they've seen double-digit Champions League, man. They've been blessed with Cristiano Ronaldo, R9, Benzema. They've been blessed with Modric, Kaká. I could go. The list goes on and on. David Beckham, all these guys. They're right here when it comes to quality, man. Now, you have a couple bad performances, they will boo you off the pitch, mate. And now, the management here, seeing 2 bad performances, and now they don't even know if they want you in 2026 on a free, man. They're not willing to spend no money on you coming to Real Madrid. That's how bad they think you're playing. And that's why Konate is looking a bit foolish here if he still ends up going to Madrid, because that's absolutely diabolical that they even want to not bring him in on a free. You know, it'd be a different story if, oh yeah, you got to spend 60 million on his transfer clause. No, it's free. They're questioning if they should bring you on a free, mate. Have some shame, man. But anyways, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Who would you rather have at the club if you're on Madrid? Guehi or Konate? But anyways, thank you guys for watching.